This is a presentation of RVT Entertainment.
What's your name, ma'am?
Stacy.
Oh, Stacy. What do you do for a living, Stacy?
I work for a Christian publishing company.
If there's one thing I can't stand.
Listen up, slap nuts.
Sit down, dummy, I'm talking.
You know, they say all men are created equal, but you look at me and you look at Small Joe, and you can see that statement is not true.
Oh, Randy!
He's fat!
You f***ing numpty!
What are you laughing at, face? Shut your mouth.
The cream of the crop! Nobody does it better.
Hey, hi, hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Wrestle Cast, presented by RVT Entertainment on the RookandInfinite.com, Podmatch.com, YouTube, and wherever else you may find this fine audio recording and live on RVT Entertainment's official Twitch.tv channel. We're talking about professional wrestling, both in the mainstream and the independent scene. My name is Matty Jay. That is TWK. Forgive T-Dub, he is a fast food / retail worker in the middle of the worst possible part of the year.
I'm gonna take a nap. Good night.
Hey, get up. Got 90 minutes of happy thoughts before you have to actually go to bed. Can't go to bed all kinds of stressed. Alright, Prince Valium, wake up.
Wait, don't go.
Yeah. But yeah, that is TWK of TWK Reviews, who is here to entertain you. And no, Rico, believe me, I have plenty of backup plans. Just
I will fight you to the death.
That too. Oh, what a week, what a week. I was so happy that Wednesday was done. Finally, I don't have to watch wrestling. I don't have to watch another thing of wrestling for the rest of the year. But what about Raw, SmackDown, and the taped NXT? Not another episode. Like,
What about Into the Fire? Into the Fire!
Well, I might watch that. But whoever hosted, thank you for doing that. I believe that might have been Rico who did that. Thank you very much for the host. Oh, man. What a week it was. Into the Fire. NJPW is on, but, you know, I watched that this week. Though, I can't really... Well, we're getting ahead of each other here. We gotta talk about other stuff before we gotta get to... We gotta get to the bad shit before we're gonna get to the rest of the good shit for the rest of the year. But
Tables, ladders, and...
Tables, ladders, and bullshit. Also chairs.
and bears.
And bears. And absolutely bears. Absolutely bears. Absolutely. Positively. Bears! Bears! Anyway.
I was hoping for the song, but I guess that'll do for...
We got to build up the thing though before we actually get to the feature. We gotta keep protocol first. Besides, we're only like what, a minute into the actual talking part of the show. So there's that. Anyway, that being said, we have a show for you. This is the last regular show of 2019. Because next week it is the best and worst of 2019, which will be coming up next week, of course, after Christmas. So hopefully after you've survived your people and all that stuff, you get to come in and have a little bit of fun talking about, reminiscing about the year that was 2019. But before we do, we got one more WWE shit show, pay-per-view to go through. We have a little bit of NWA Into the Fire. We will talk about that in the third segment because we're keeping all of the good wrestling at the end of the show. Because we got to take a shit on TLC. I hate
That's right.
to-
That's gonna be stanky.
Yep. And that's the show. Tables, Ladders, and Chairs 2019 being reviewed. We have news, including a new NXT Women's Champion, new people coming in into other promotions that were unexpected news, but news nonetheless. Oh, and we have winners, losers, and a lolcow of the week. I shall explain at the end of the show. Of course, your emails and comments as per usual. That before, I want to get a little bit housekeeping for, because obviously the best and worst stuff is coming up next week. I'm gonna say it right off the bat. Do not expect your emails to be read next week, simply because typically these shows go over 2 hours minimum. You know, we've had a show go over 4 hours one time. So,
Which is why we're probably gonna start an hour early next week, guys.
I mean, it's up to you. I mean, I'm not gonna force you to come in early. Unlike your actual work.
I always come early.
Phrasing. Boom, both T-dubs out, ladies and gentlemen. That being said, let us begin with the particulars of this particular evening's program, shall we? This podcast. I did not choose a clip from the show itself in subject. Rather, I went with the Wrestling Observers and F4W Online's Brian Alvarez and Big Vinny V, who reviewed the same program that we are about to discuss. And they were at a... This clip came on YouTube, so it's absolutely free, to my knowledge. So you can see it for yourself. This one, well, they had some things to say about a particular matchup. Let's put it this way. It almost broke the one of the hosts. So this is pretty much... Take a listen to the thoughts of most of the wrestling world as it witnessed tables, ladders, and chairs. Take a listen.
When I first saw on Twitter an ad for this match, I think I wanted to retweet, this sounds like the worst main event ever. So no, I expected this to be a horrible match.
I don't know how I didn't think about it till like they were coming through the curtain, but it suddenly hit me. We're going to watch Bray Wyatt wrestle The Miz. It was even worse than I expected.
It was so much worse than I expected. So listen, everyone. I don't want to be the guy who just hates everything and shits on everything and never has anything nice to say. Some people in this crowd were into the Bray Wyatt character, okay? So there's people out there who enjoy this kind of thing.
Oh, you should have read my timeline after I buried this one.
I don't want people to not enjoy things. But I don't enjoy this stuff myself, okay? I am not their target audience. So I feel guilty, honestly, even reviewing it.
Well, let me say something, Vinny. I'll help you review it, okay? So yes, you're not the target audience, but let's look at this objectively, okay? Not subjectively like I like the Bray Wyatt character. Okay. The storyline is that there was a home invasion and Bray Wyatt went to the Miz's house and put a fucking scary doll in his kid's crib, which made her cry. All right?
Yes.
All right, that's the backstory. Miz then does a melodramatic fucking promo where he says, this is the most important match, the most personal match of my entire life. I am not fighting as The Miz. I'm fighting as a man protecting my family. So they play The Miz's music, and he comes out in his stupid trench coat and his stupid glasses, and he does his stupid dance, and he does his whole babyface happy entrance, and he stands in the ring. Then they play the Firefly Funhouse music, and out comes Bray Wyatt. He's in a fucking sweater and his jeans and his street shoes, and he's waving at everybody, and he comes down, and he literally stands on the announcer's table facing away from the ring, looking at the people. And do you know what The Miz does?
As I recall, he stood there.
He fucking stands there and looks at this guy who went into his house and put a creepy doll in his 3-year-old's fucking bed. Okay? I had these people on Twitter defending this going, well, the ref was holding him back. Okay, if some motherfucker comes into my house and puts a fucking doll in Paisley's crib, if I'm within 20 feet of this guy, you can have 30 fucking people holding me back. I'm gonna get at that guy. Or I'm at least gonna fucking try. This asshole stands there. I'll let this guy do his fucking entrance. I'll twiddle my fucking thumbs right here while this guy stands on the goddamn announce table and fucking poses. Okay? So then they ring the bell. Now we're into the actual pro wrestling aspect of this match. And here's the other flaw. Angry Miz is fucking hilarious. Not a badass. He runs across the ring. He does his stupid deal where he runs corner to corner, throwing the lamest, lightest, shittiest knees. Everything he does looks fake. It's the softest shit you ever saw. He has to put on the angry, mean face. Oh, I'm mad at this fucking guy. I'm gonna beat his ass. I'm gonna run as slow as I can, but when I get there, I'm gonna beat his ass. I'm like, fuck me. The fucking Bray Wyatt doesn't sell a goddamn thing. He just gets hit with stuff, and Miz does this bullshit, and then finally Bray takes him outside, hits his sister Abigail, throws him in the ring, hits another one, and wins. And like, I'm not the biggest fan of The Miz. This whole thing is bullshit, but fuck, could you have made that guy look like a bigger fucking geek?
Same old song and dance. Ooh, that's WWE in a nutshell. This week, last year, Vince, Steph, Shane, and can't forget our buddy Paul, all stood there apologizing for shit. For their shit and their behavior on Mondays and Fridays. Or Tuesdays at the time. 1 year later, and it's as if they haven't learned a fucking thing. I almost don't want to hit this button. I really don't. God damn it. Can't help but do a little bit of search, because I said this is PR, bad PR. I called it last year, and I was told, oh, they're gonna make it better. They're gonna make it better. There we go.
Fuck you, I was right, 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 fuck.
That being said, let's go on to the thing in question. Tables, ladders, and chairs 2019 from the Target Center in Minneapolis, Minnesota. A warmer crowd than this pay-per-view deserved. Especially for Bray Wyatt. I will give it all the positives in the world I can. They were into Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt was over in Minneapolis in a good way. But that crowd deserved better than what they got. Good Lord. We begin with Humberto Carrillo defeating Andrade in 12:45. That was a decent match, in fairness, but it was in the pre-show. G-Dub?
Yeah.
There you go. I thought Discord decided to fuck with you. You fuck with your stuff again there.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Talk! Damn you! You're a co-host of this show.
What do you want me to say? I didn't actually watch Andrade versus Korea.
That makes sense. Then we're gonna move on to the main card. Then they started with most of the shit was advertised. We thought this was just gonna be a regular match. Nope, ladder match. Last minute booking. Fuck you, Vinny. And Nubico said crowd was dead. For the most part, crowd was dead, but they liked Bray Wyatt. They popped for Bray.
They liked this match.
And they liked this first match. New Day retained the title over the Revival SmackDown tag. They went 19-20. Big E, are you okay, pal?
Also, Kofi Kingston was getting some pretty good pops.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you'd think that he was a former world champion by the reaction he was getting.
No. It's as if WWE is shitting the bed with Kofi. The minute they dropped it, oh, he's just back to being a geek. I'm like, he's a former world champion, you fucking idiots. Treat him as such. No, back to the tag team doldrums. You are a blip on our radar. No, I should do it right. You're a blip on our radar, pal. This was a good match, and the crowd deserved better from beyond that. The next match was, well, pretty much match of the night. Aleister Black versus Buddy Murphy. The crowd was into this match.
Strike-a-mania!
Oh, these two battered the shit out of each other. Oh, beauty.
Yeah, and I especially love how the Black Mass kick is becoming the new from out of nowhere finisher.
You know what? Fair enough. It is sudden enough that you could pull it off out of nowhere.
Yeah, because they're just train back strikes, then boom, out of nowhere, Black Mass.
Makes sense to me. Makes absolute sense to me. And this was easily match of the night for me.
Oh, 100% same here.
This was, no offense to the rest of the matches, effort was made, but no, these two guys had a banger. Tag match, Raw Tag Titles, 8:30. The Viking Raiders did an open challenge. The OC wound up answering the call, but it ended at a double count out.
A double count out on pay-per-view where after everyone kept going in and out of the ring, the referee never stopped and restarted the count. Why?
They did that match again on Raw. And the match on Raw was pay-per-view quality. This was not.
That's just so backwards. They put the pay-per-view match on Raw, and the Raw match on the pay-per-view was just, oh my God.
Believe me, I couldn't last an hour watching Raw because the minute they said Bobby Lashley and Lana, fuck you, I turned the damn thing off and started watching Monday Night Football. And for those wondering, myself, Mildred the Monk, and Aaron Alexander out of the monastery, we happen to be sports ball people, or at least we watch sports ball news, so there's that. I'm just keeping up. Plus, it's funny watching people fucking up with football, but that's another story for another day.
I will say this. Viking Raiders are hugely over in Minneapolis.
Absolutely. But then again, Vikings in Minnesota.
I know that, but still, it's good to see that despite the lackluster booking of them, they're still able to get a really monstrous reaction.
It's good. It's good to get the thumbs up from a good crowd. That is for sure. God damn it! Why did they put this stip on this match? Fuck you, Vinny. Fuck you, Vinny. Fuck you, Vinny. King Corbin over Roman Reigns, tables, ladders, and chairs. They went 22-20, and it took everybody to beat up. It took everybody to beat up Roman Reigns.
The good news is Roman got a good reaction from the crowd, so progress there.
There are some positives, and Roman is actually getting positive babyface reactions, which is a good thing.
But the bad news is Roman Reigns' character is that he's the locker room leader, but who is he leading? No one that wants to help him in a match, at least. you had King Corbin, Dolph Ziggler, Dash Water, Scott Dawson, and like 12 random people, probably indie workers, coming out to the ring, beating the shit out of Roman, and nobody wanted to help him? Nobody?
Braun Strowman? No one?
The New Day?
Well, of course, they were in a ladder match, but they were peppy enough. Enough rest had happened that they could probably do a run at the end of this match.
But no, they had to give King Corbin his
They had to get the heel over, and god damn it, I don't want to put Baron Corbin on my worst list, but you are giving. It's like EC likes to quote Dredrick Tatum from the Simpsons. You'll give me little recourse to do so. I don't want to put King Corbin. You're gonna make me put King Corbin on my worst list because of this horse shit. Vince, this is, I hate it when this contrarian against predictable booking, when predictable booking done right does not need to be bad. It does not equal bad. We'll get
know, especially in this case where everyone just wanted to see Roman win, get the storyline over with, so Roman can move on to bigger and better things.
This is obvious shit. And speaking of obvious shit, you heard the clip from the Brian and Vinny show. Bray Wyatt versus The Miz. Bray Wyatt wins in 6:40.
Bray Wyatt was super over during his entrance, like he was hot dogging and grandstanding.
He was hot dogging and handstanding. He was over like Rover and Minnie. He was happy. Oh, thank you. And Miz is standing there like
the best part was? You know what the best part was? When he was making his entrance, he stood on the apron, pretended to go in the ring, stood back on the apron, yeah! Went in the ring, get back on the apron, yeah! Like, he was milking that for like a good 2.
This guy's reaping the rewards of his hard work in spite of bullshit.
Although, The Miz is a perfect example of, is a microcosm of a huge problem with WWE in that they want the wrestlers to be these superstars, but they always have to do the WWE thing. They always have to do their entrance.
Everything has to be prepackaged and over-rehearsed, and it has to be by the point when the story is, this fucker invaded my home.
Yeah, and Miz isn't the only person who's fallen victim to this. There's been plenty of people where, all right, it's time for this violent street fight, and let's just do our fancy entrances.
Bray Wyatt did his job perfectly. Miz should have stormed him when Bray was at the table.
Hell, Miz should have stormed his way out. He should have been like, as soon as he goes to the curtain, he should have just dropped his robe, dropped his shades, dropped his headband, just stormed his way to the ring.
Drop the shades, drop the whole goddamn gimmick. Shirt, trunks, boots, that's it.
Yeah, essentially.
And that would have been easily better, just by the aesthetics of it.
But no, WWE always has to do the whole.
They have to overproduce and over bullshitify it, and then you wonder why people turn their shit off every Monday, like I am doing right now.
Yeah, it is a shame.
It's an absolute shame because this. I can't believe this is a Paul Heyman product.
Well, this is a SmackDown thing, so it's not Paul Heyman.
Well, that explains a whole lot right there.
I feel like this match could have been saved had they, just up the intensity of it.
Just get a producer that gets, hey, this is a blood feud treated like a blood feud. How would you react? Bray does the same thing as he usually does, but The Miz has a raging heart on into beating the crap out of the guy who invaded his home and threatened his fucking family.
Yeah, if you really want Miz to be aggressive, I would have had him take off the turnbuckle post and start ramming Bray's head.
You know what you do? You do what Bryan did at the end. Daniel Bryan did at the end of the match.
Don't you mean Jason Solomon?
Wait! The son of El Hijo de Orange Cassidy?
No, El Hermano de Orange Cassidy.
Okay.
And
I half expected someone to hit
for
Europe at
Universal
that, by the
title.
way. I half expected to hear Europe when Brian revealed his new look.
Well, it's Minneapolis. It's not New York. But
True.
as Newt pointed out, it should have been for the Universal title since Bray was going to win anyways. So what would have been the harm?
What would have been a harm? It would have been an easy. It would have been an easy thing to pull off.
And, it would have been
And for those wondering, Jason Solomon, the Solomon Monster from Solomon Monster, sounds off. This could have easily been so much better than it could have been by minor tweaks and aesthetic changes and just better producing. But no, you fucked it up. And then you had Bobby Lashley over Rusev in a tables match.
Because of course,
I'm not
Rusev
gonna lie,
had that
T-Dub, I skipped to the end because I just wanted to see Bobby Lashley through a table. But no! You have to stretch that shit! You have to put a wedding on Christmas week! And you want me to watch your fucking show? No! I won't watch your shitty 3-hour slog of a wrestling byproduct.
You know what everyone should be doing instead?
Playing Fire Pro Wrestling.
Playing Fire Pro Wrestling, maybe watching the previous week's NWA Power.
Watch AEW Dark. That could be a thing you could do as well. New Japan's got their Road to Tokyo Dome thing going on.
They did a press conference today.
They did. Everyone looked nice and classy.
And of course, in the main events, most disappointing match of all.
This one was a lot of it was out of the control because injuries unfortunately happen. The Kabuki Warriors retained over Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair. And we should just say, Al, Kyrie, please get well soon. That was a bad bump.
Yeah, most people are assuming that Kairi Sane suffered the injury after a suplex from Charlotte into the barricade, which, yeah, that did look pretty bad. Nevertheless, props to Becky Lynch for taking control of the match when, like, whoever was producing this match, watching it backstage, why weren't you signaling to the referees to get Kairi Sane out of there? Why did Becky have to do all the work?
Yeah, Becky did the one thing she could do after that slap by Charlotte Flair. She does, okay, it's okay. Go under, we'll call you for the finish. She had to push Kairi under the ring, just under the ring apron, just so it could be out of sight, out of mind, so she could try to recover herself. Where was the doctor in this?
Where's the doctor? Where were the referees?
Where's representation?
Who's in
Where's
Gorilla?
the sense?
Who was in Gorilla for this match?
It wasn't Vince.
It wasn't Vince.
Allegedly.
It probably wasn't Triple H either. So who was watching this match going thinking, oh yeah, Kyrie's perfectly fine. Like the moment she went down after that spear, it's like, oh, fuck. Like clearly something wasn't right.
Whoever was leashing Paul Heyman, don't ever do that again. Because I refuse to believe Paul Heyman was responsible for producing this show. Or in the Vince McMahon chair, so to speak.
Nevertheless, at the very least, Asuka got some pretty cool moments, taking out both Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch by herself, making her look badass. So I was thinking, oh, at least we're going to end on a high note with Asuka with the belts raised above the air, celebrating triumphantly, and then they went and put another middle finger up in the air to Asuka.
And then they cut the Roman Reigns beating up Baron Corbin in the back, and they cut, and I just went, fuck you, Vinny.
This keeps happening to Asuka. She can't get one moment to herself in the spotlight. What the fuck?
What is this show? Like seriously, if the Saudi shit shows had not happened, this would easily, without fail, win worst pay-per-view of the year. That's how bad this is.
Yeah, and like I said, like at the very least, you could have ended it on a high note, but no, you just couldn't let Asuka have her moment once again.
Give her really 2 minutes on top of a ladder, you fucking ingrates.
No, instead it's just literally 2 seconds of celebrating, then Smash cut to the crowd where Roman and Corbin are
You're on
fighting.
the network. You had the time. You had the time for 2 minutes of celebrating, and then you're going to pull Kyrie and say, oh, I won? Yay! But no. Belts off, and then schmoz.
And the thing is, at the very least,
I could not wait to download this. You know, we at RVT do not condone the use of illegal downloading if you unless you really have to know. I don't have access to the network anymore. Easy, cancel it, and I don't blame them. I downloaded this fucking pay-per-view, folks, and as soon as I finished that pay-per-view, I fucking deleted it. I needed to get my ratio up in my website, and that's it.
Also, new points that reminded me of something. The fact that Jerry Lawler referred to Asuka as, is she Kabuki Warrior 1 or 2? Like, he couldn't tell the difference between Kairi Sane and Asuka?
Fire Lawler, why did you extend his contract? Why? Why did you sign him? Why? Fuck you.
Yeah, you know, Kairi Sane, the tiny one with brown hair, then Asuka, the taller one with multicolor hair. Just, there's so many differences between the two that they don't even dress the same.
You know, the crazy part is, Jerry Lawler is just about as bad as Jim Ross, but at least JR and JR is trying to put some effort into his commentary, whereas Jerry is just there to be Jerry, and that's it. And Renico, if you didn't have the network, would you have paid for TLC? Be honest. Be honest. Don't give me that fucking emoji look thing. You would have downloaded it too.
This show
you would not have paid. You would not have paid for this pay-per-view. You would not have bought the damn thing for the pay-per-view. You wouldn't have done jack shit. This pay-per-view was half-baked, booked by the time we previewed it. They added stupid stipulations. This was just an attempt for them to get more subscribers. It fucked over the audience watching. It fucked over the continuity. It fucked me over. Fuck this show. -1.0 out of 5.
I'll give it 1.5 out of 5 because the first two matches were really excellent. But aside from that, this was not a good show to watch.
And then you wonder why you're almost going. And then you wonder. Yeah, it's probably going to go under 1 million during the holidays. It usually does. And then people are going to start watching again. Under 2 million. I don't think it's going to go on. Yeah, but, under 2 million, yeah, probably. But under 1 million, no. People be panicking if that happens. No, but this will
I'm pretty
go
sure
under
Vince will
2
go on a
million by the end of
mass
the
firing
year.
spree. I'm pretty sure either Vince will go on a mass firing spree or
Vince will be the firing spree.
Yeah, Vince will get fired. Like some heads will have to roll if they ever go that low.
But they won't because the Rumble happens and the marks have to come back. T-Dub and I included. But I'm not going to give Raw the chance. Well, here's the reality, dude. It's smart marks or not. We're still marks.
I'm not a mark.
For those wondering, a mark is the guy with the person with the red X when you enter the building. When you hand over your ticket. Yeah, if you hold a ticket, you're a mark. If you watch TV, you're a mark. Sorry, folks, that's the reality. Carney talk. Anyway, but they're treating us like fucking idiots. And say what you will about how mediocre, quote-unquote, AEW was this week. They're not treating us like idiots. They're trying to world build. They're trying to put together a show in the long term. And I'm pretty sure they said, it's a marathon. Half ironically because they have to wink at Triple H going, knee jab. Did you get it? Know what I mean?
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Say no more.
Say no more. So, people taking a shit over the ending with the Dark Order taking over the main event at the end of the show, their last show of the year. You'll be back in a couple of weeks, folks. Don't lie to yourself. This, at least AEW is good at trying to build characters, try to build their talent, because they still have to build their talent. They can't just rely on Chris Jericho, though Chris Jericho can carry the damn company on his own if he could.
Yeah, I do like the fact that they are aware that, hey, Chris Jericho's doing really good right now, but he is an aging star. He has a shelf life, so we still have to build up other people once he drops the title.
Let's build up all our divisions so when Jericho says, I am done, or at the worst, something happens where he cannot wrestle ever again, we have a backup plan. We have a plan. We have a roster that could carry the load. This will take time. We've said this. There are people saying, oh, AEW was bad. AEW was this. AEW doesn't deserve ours. Like, shut up. It's world building. Even WWE stuff doing that. I shared something and Daryl responded, well, yeah, but they're doing exactly that. It was an image saying Kenny Omega is being booked the same way people were afraid WWE was going to book him. Yeah, because they're not trying to waste all of their aces in one go.
I would say that if he was in WWE, he would probably have a much more 50-50 win-loss record by now.
Yeah, his win-loss record is a little more spotless than it would have been in WWE. Again, this is a slow burn for AEW. They got a show in February, for God's sakes. End of February. They got to build that stuff up. And the way to build that stuff up is to start from point A. And then point B is way over there in February. And, they got to contend with all the other shit, the Royal Rumble included. But to make my point back to TLC, AEW is doing what they can to world build, and WWE is just saying, we're just going to put random shit because you fuckers are sheep and you'll watch anything. And it's the most frustrating part, because from January up to August this year, they weren't exactly having the worst year. Like, the worst thing that happened was the Saudi shit show. Back in, I think it was May. I don't know who gives a fuck. Everything else was decent. Wasn't the best of the world, but they had the talent to carry him. And we get to the end, and then as soon as SummerSlam weekend ended, you just could feel everything just going down, down, down. To the point where the only thing that was good was NXT, which gave Survivor Series a boost. But that's it. Everything else from Raw and SmackDown was shit. And this is the result. Survivor Series needed NXT to be halfway presentable. This was horse shit. And if it weren't for Saudi Arabia, it would win worst pay-per-view of the year.
All right, time to move on to the happy stuff.
Let's do that. Let's so rant over. And Newman Co. The Kabuki Warriors are the most entertaining act of all WWE. They should sell merch and everything. They should and they could sell merch, but this is WWE. They do it dumb.
I'm pretty sure they have merch.
Yeah, the masks are. I know they still sell the Oscar masks. Pirate hats for Kairi Sane. They could do it. They could absolutely do it. It would sell like hotcakes, but WWE is afraid of making $1 here. That being said, it's time, ladies and gentlemen, for your not your worst. What am I doing? That's next week. More frustration and venting next week. But until then, the emails and comments of the week, you can send them at thewrestlecast@gmail.com. And Tito, we begin and end with our good buddy. You know who it is. There you go. Last one of the year. All right.
French!
Taku! Give him a hand, people. Come on. Give him a hand.
Give me all your loving! All your husband gets is too!
Give me all your loving. Anyway, hello, Wrestle Cats. It's going to be a short one since I'm tired, and 'tis the season next week. So let us recap Lightspeed mode before I begin in advance. Merry Christmas, Merry Kwanzaa, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Dick in a Box, Happy Holidays to y'all, and if you don't like it, then happy shut the fuck up. TLC 2019, it started good with a ladder match in Black and Murphy, and then it took a massive nosedive. And it's a shame that the women's tag match did not get any fanfare, but then again, it shouldn't have been the main event. And yes, not even Brian dressed as the most dangerous man alive, that would be Orange Cassidy, mind you, couldn't save it. He's been more generous than you and I, teed up 2 out of 5. Raw! Fuck this show! Thanks a lot, not Lana and Bobo. Fuckers.
You know what we have to say about TLC?
Hmm?
That was the worst show I've ever sat through.
I see you. Dude, I'm gonna steal that for Toka Riffs on Sunday. Dude, I know for a fact Easy will get a kick out of that. Because he's still watching. He is an AEW devotee, ladies and gentlemen. He will get the shit out. I will send it. By the way, do you? Do you?
No, it's more of... Hold on.
Huh?
Do you?
AEW Dynamite great tag matches featuring the Lucha Bros and versus Paige and Omega. And the Bucks versus SCU, and Jungle Boy did well against Jericho, holding until the time limit. But there were some downsides, mostly the women's match with Kong, but then again, she was limited. And the promo with Brandy and her Nightmare Collective. Sorry, not interested in the new group. By the way, I'm calling out Vampiro as the bald dude with who is the secret member.
Nope, Brian's in already revealed it. I believe he did.
Oh, who is he?
I believe Brian's saying... I think he said it was like an old mentor of it.
Oh.
I believe that's what he said was on Wednesday Warfare.
That makes sense. So it is literally just a plant. That makes sense. NXT, the better show compared to AEW with the return of Gargano. Cole versus Balor, and finally Rhea Ripley is your new NXT Women's Champion. Awesome show from beginning to end. No winners or losers this week, sorry. But it's just, I'm tired. I need to go to sleep and try to lose weight before the end of the year. See you next time. And again, Merry Christmas to you all. Before we wrap this segment up, I know the feeling, because I started losing weight literally mid-October. And good news, I'm 20 pounds down. I started at 304. I am 0.1 pound away from 25 pounds at 278. My goal is to lose 20 by a GDQ. So the trick here, folks, is simple. I'm on Weight Watchers, so you know the trick is simple. It's literally just follow your gut. If you don't feel hungry, you don't need to eat. Well, of course, it's a little more complicated than that, but it is what it is.
So then you don't want this delicious cheesecake.
T-Dub, I'm gonna take this cheap cheesecake, put it in a nice foreseeable container, put it in the freezer, and wait till Tuesday until Tuesday at my weigh-in. Because I'm gonna weigh in the morning, and the first thing I'm doing, win, lose, draw, whatever. I am going to eat the fuck out of that cheesecake because from 24 to 26, yes, I will be counting the points, but I will not be giving one slight of a fuck about weight loss. I will be stuffing my face. So your cheesecake will be eaten. Eventually.
Phrasing, I think? Maybe? I don't know. Everything's useful.
That is very true. Eventually. Love using that word. That being said, those are your emails and comments of the week. You can send them at the WrestleCast at gmail.com. We return with the rest of the good stuff. We're going to talk about NWA Into the Fire. And Tino actually watched Power this week. We're going to talk about that after the break. Do not go anywhere, folks.
And now a word from our sponsors. These newfangled video games are too hard. Hello boys and girls, this is the national treasure and the world's champion, Nick Aldis, and I'm here to announce that the NWA is coming to Wrestling. Stars like myself, Colt Cabana, the Universal Heartthrob, Austin Idol. Hey, do you want a challenge for the 10 pounds of gold? Well, you can, buddy, in Retromania Wrestling. Coming to the PC, Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One. I'm going retro. Retromania Wrestling. Coming in 2020.
Promotional consideration paid for by the following.
It's VR Troopers! Ryan Steele, Caitlin Starr, J.B. Reese team up to battle the treacherous Darkheart. He attacks in the Skyborg jet, firing a mega missile. Oh, brutal. But he's no match for the Troopers. Armored up, they soar in on the VR Turbo Cycle.
Totally virtual.
Team up with the Troopers, Savon's VR Troopers, each sold separately.
This is WMOB, Mobile, 12 on your channel dial and 12 in the TV ratings.
Wholesale faithful doing their best to rally. Rhea Ripley using her head. Ripley now. Second turnbuckle. Ripley about to deliver an
Now you're wondering, that's not Rhea Ripley's theme song. I actually did find one of her old independent wrestling theme songs from before she became Rhea Ripley in NXT. I did find an 8-bit version, but I realized we have to talk about Marty Scurll because he made a little bit of news this week. But before we do, welcome back to the Wrestle Cast, RVT Entertainment Production on BrokenInfinite.com, .com, YouTube, Twitch.tv live. Matty and TWK here with you as per usual. Quick reminder of the best and worst of 2019 coming up in just under 7 days' time. We hope you enjoy your holidays and come back and see us eventually. That being said, so we will talk about Rhea Ripley in a few minutes. Congratulations to her as the new NXT Women's Champion, of course. That being said, we got to talk about new NWA Into the Fire. I don't know if TWK watched the show live. I happened to catch it later.
I did not watch the pay-per-view.
I'd say seek it out if you got a free couple hours. It's actually it was a fairly short pay-per-view, but it went fast, but it was a good one. I'll give you the results real quick. Eli Drake over Ken Anderson in 9:15. Great opener. Good crowd. It was at the GFB studio. GPB Studios in Atlanta, Georgia. Same studios that they film NWA Power. Thunder Rosa over Tasha Steelz. The question mark with Aaron Stevens. He went over Trevor Murdoch. The Rock and Roll Express retained. After, of course, help with Eddie Kingston and Homicide. And when the Dawsons tried to do their shtick, it only went 5:05, but that's all they needed. Allison Kay and ODB defeated Melina and Marty Bell. There was a bit during the Thunder Rosa Tasha Steelz match where Allison Kay's intended partner got injured, so that's why Allison Kay sought out ODB.
Yeah, Ashley Vox. I believe it's Ashley Vox, right?
Ashley Vox, yeah.
One half of the C Stars.
Yep. Aaron Stevens is your new NWA National Champion over...
I believe, no, he's not the National Champion.
He is. Aaron Stevens is
he's the National... No, he is the National... Wait for it.
Yeah, that's true. You're right. You're National Third Degree Champion.
There we go.
Yeah, he's going with the Mongrovian Karate. Love and we all know it's Josephus under the mask, but that's the beauty of it. It's awesome.
It is?
I think. It's corny enough to work.
It is, and the crowd loves it.
But officially, it's the National Wrestling Alliance National Heavyweight Champion, who is now Aaron Stevens over Colt Cabana and Ricky Starks. And in the main event, Nick Aldis defeated James Storm 2 out of 2 falls to 1 in 22 minutes to retain the NWA World Title. He cut a promo with Dave Marquez at the end of the night, and then how relevant it was the 8-bit version of Marty Scurll's One True Villain theme song. It's what popped up when he showed up.
Oh, did he use that as his entrance theme?
That's what he used as his entrance theme, as a matter of fact.
Oh, good to know he's keeping that around.
He's keeping it around. I'm pretty sure most of the people who made the transition from, of course, minus Kenny Omega, of course, but Young Bucks got to keep their theme song. SCU keeps their theme song.
No, Young Bucks got a new. I believe Young Bucks got a new theme.
But they used the Super Kick Party song. They used in their latter days of the Ring of Honor bit. So that song they kept. Hangman kept his song, and obviously Marty for now has kept his villain theme song. This goes right into our first big headline here. Marty Scurll, at least for the short term, is with the National Wrestling Alliance.
Yeah, and he wants a shot at the NWA World Title.
So, villain in NWA. How surprised were you when you read that?
I was really shocked. I was like, holy shit, I was expecting him to either go NXT or AEW, one of those two. NWA wasn't even in my mind. So that was a nice surprise.
I think, and I cannot speak for Marty Scurll. He's the only one who can answer the question, what are you thinking? But Marty knows he's got name value. He knows that, obviously. He could go to NXT and become a big player in NXT's already stacked main event scene, and that's where he's going. He ain't going for the Cruiserweight title. He's a big enough name and a big enough pop that you could go with North American title or NXT title without making him look bad. Or you could go to AEW, and of course everyone will expect it, and all this stuff happens and all that stuff.
I have a prediction!
Before you do, keep that in your head. I think Marty sees this as an opportunity. Hey, there's two comforts, and there's a National Wrestling Alliance, to it. I can help them, and I'm instantly a main event star the minute I enter that building. Let me try this out for a bit. Go ahead, D-Dub.
My prediction is that he is going to show up and be the leader of the Dark Order.
Ooh.
Because people are going to be start suspecting Hangman because he didn't come out on Dynamite this week to help out everyone. Everyone's getting their ass kicked by the Dark Order. So they're going to start suspecting him, to start pointing their fingers at him.
And this could be a case of, hey, look, people are obviously going to think you're the Dark Order leader and all that stuff. Go to NWA for a couple months. Finish whatever business you got to finish up. Go there for a month. Say hi, whatever you got to do. And then when we're ready, and when you're ready, showtime. We'll see. But
I should note that. You were still on a point?
No, go ahead.
I'll say on this episode of Power, they did a good job of playing the seeds of Nick Aldis's full-on heel turn.
Oh, no, he has a full-on heel turn. Good Lord, that is a full-on. At the end of that episode, he had a whole pile of people. He is a full-on heel.
Yeah, and throughout the entire show, veterans were being asked weird opinions on Nick Aldis as champion. They're like, he's good, but he's not as great as he thinks he is. And whenever Nick was asked about this, you could tell it's starting to get under his skin, which led to him eventually beating the shit out of Tim Storm in the middle of the ring.
And of course, the Camille comes out. You don't get to do this yet, and then he literally, she spears the shit out of Tim Storm.
Poor Tim Storm.
By the way, kudos to Tim for taking that bump. That actually looked more powerful than it actually felt, I'm sure.
Also, Nick Aldis has entered himself into the NWA television title tournament, where each match will have a time limit of not 20 minutes, not 15. No, hold on. Not 15 minutes, not even 10 minutes like WCW did, but
6 minutes, 5 seconds. Literally 6:05.
So these are going to be some really fast-paced matches.
And their first match, which was a triple threat, actually was fast-paced. And I think that's cool. And plus, it's about time someone brought along a television title again.
Yeah, it is, and it's the classic NWA television title too. So looks really nice, really classy. And if nothing else, this is definitely something different because no other company I can think of is doing a 6-minute time limit.
At least for the tournament, which is outside of the tournament, we don't know how that's going to work, but. For the tournament, for the time being, up until their next pay-per-view at the end of January, that's how they're going to build it up.
And one people in the tournament is Ricky Starks, who Nick Aldis said, he's going to do great in the tournament. He's going to make his way all the way to the finals where he'll lose to me. Which, of course, Ricky Starks took note of. So I think that Ricky Starks could be the first television champion.
It's one way to put it.
Do you want to know what the best news from NWA this week is, though? Even though it's really nothing to do with them, but it's just great news that's tangentially related to them.
I mean, it's a
straight
transition.
from the
If nothing
Observer.
else.
It's straight from the Observer.
It's
the news that Jim Cornette has retired from commentary.
Yay! And the reason why Cheetah started watching NWA Power.
Also, gotta give props to Joey Janela.
How do you like the presentation? Just generally speaking, because this is your first full episode.
Second episode.
Second full episode. Okay.
Really like the aesthetic. I like how everything just feels different. It's very fast paced. Hour goes by super fast. And I especially love the cheesy commercials. Those are nice. And I just love just how it has just this different vibe from literally every wrestling company out there. That's always what I love from a wrestling promotion, is for them to make themselves feel different from every other promotion that's out there on the market. There
is literally almost no filter other than just editing. So it's literally you, and when it's promo time, it's you, Dave Marquez, on a microphone and a camera. And you sink or swim on that promo.
Yeah, it's always nice.
So you need to be on your game for that promo, or at the very least, genuine enough that you could pull off a shitty promo.
Yeah, you have to at least with whenever someone cuts promo and it's not the best, you can at least tell that it is their own words that they're using, and that's something that somebody wrote down and had to get approved by someone else, and then approved by someone else, had to go through 20 different people and filter through all these different processes.
Like, I'm pretty sure some of it had to be approved. Just the general direction of the promo, just to be sure that it's not going to be against the grain, obviously. But beyond that, it's okay. Here's where I want you to go. Now do it.
Yeah, at the very least, they're not being absolutely micromanaged to the absolute last letter of what they're speaking. And interesting note, this reminded me of TJP talking about how micromanaged even the matches are, where he would not even get to choose what moves to do, when to do the moves, just constantly being told by the referee, all right, do this move here, now do this, now do that, now do this, now do that. And it just rings back to my head of Jon Moxley when he did his first match in New Japan, where he's like, for once, he was out there all alone. He could just be himself. And you could feel that in the promos here, where these people,
Hell, a couple of years ago, when Cody just started working Independence and Ring of Honor, you could tell how happy he was just having the freedom to do what he wanted, to say what he wanted to say.
Yeah, you can also see it in Aaron Stevens' promo where he just went off on calling belts. He's like, yes, this is the NWA national title. Belt! This is a belt!
He was happy to say belt.
Yeah, because for those who don't know, that's one of the banned words in WWE. You cannot call a championship title belt a title belt. It is a championship title. It is never a belt, ever. Even though it is shaped like
has
a belt.
A banned terminology on a particular height. That's how fucking weird those rules are. I am fairly certain the minute Vince is gone, belt is back in the vernacular within 6 months.
And then it'll be gone 6 months later.
Because probably Kevin Dunn, but even then.
So yeah, good stuff from NWA Power this week. Can't wait for next week's. Of course, the big news at the top of the segment, Rhea Ripley winning the NXT Women's title in what might be one of the best matches of the year, or if nothing else, the most feel-good match.
No, I don't know if people are going to put. I don't know how people are going to feel about putting it on the list. I didn't on mine for match of the year because there are too many to
it is
not
one of the
mention
most
here.
euphoric feelings I've ever felt.
That's what it is. It was cathartic.
Cathartic, euphoric, amazing, awesome.
And for
stupendous,
WWE to go from point A to point B on a predictable thing and feel so good.
This is what long-term storytelling feels like whenever you have this big, gigantic payoff like this.
This is why Triple H rules. Because he knows. Sometimes you do something right, you do your job well, you start good, the middle is good, and then when you get to the ending, there's satisfaction. They went for the long game with Shayna Baszler. They knew that whoever they put the very long game, because they knew whoever put goes over Shayna, takes the belt from her, needed to be ready. Rhea Ripley was over like Grover before. She was ready for it. She had the crowd behind it. The booking was behind it. The crowd was behind it. The ratings were behind it. More or less. They won the ratings war, if you care for that. People were ready for Rhea. And you know what they did? They didn't subvert the trope. They didn't change the booking because it's too predictable. They just went, have a good match, be safe, go kick ass. And that is exactly what they did.
Yeah, and I especially love how this played into every little thing in the match. Like, especially near the end where Rhea looked like she was about to pass out. They knew they had everyone then just like, oh no, don't pass out, don't pass out, don't pass out, don't you fucking pass out, don't you? Yeah, she's up! She's up! Then she's kicking the fuck out of her, yeah!
And you could say, you know, we've said about being overproduced, and this match probably was overproduced for all we know, but it didn't feel overproduced. It felt like a fight. Like it felt real because you didn't care. The disbelief was firmly suspended. And it felt so cathartic.
And also the celebration afterwards where she's just for the next like 10, 15 minutes celebrating with a whole bunch of fans and wrestlers in the ring.
Yeah, they had to cut the USA version short because they had already run out of overrun, sadly. But the rest of the celebration was on YouTube, Twitter, all that stuff. It was a fucking party.
Like, how could you not enjoy that? I can't imagine how, like, the fact that there are people out there that didn't enjoy that ending. Like, how could you not love Rhea Ripley celebrating with everyone like it was a party? Because it felt like a party. It felt like, yes, we finally have a babyface champion again for the women's division. Finally.
We were finally there. It was done. Finally. And Shayna should be applauded for her work as women's champion.
She was a great heel.
She was an excellent heel.
She made a fan in the front row cry last week. That was fantastic.
Shayna, brah! Make kids cry, brah!
She did.
She did.
She literally looked at him and said, "You made me do this," and then choked out her opponent.
That's what a good heel does, folks.
And news that's going to make you scratch your head. Via a jury, Jimmy Uso was found not guilty.
Of the DUI?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, Jimmy Uso was found not guilty despite clearly being drunk. And behind the wheel.
Did he refuse, like, what, if I remember correctly, did he refuse to take a breathalyzer test or something?
I don't know. I'm just perplexed by the fact that the jury could find someone not guilty of a DUI. I didn't even think that could be a thing. I didn't even think that went in front of a jury. I thought that was just a judge gimmick.
Yeah, I thought that was like, but no, it took a jury to say not guilty. What?
I don't get it either.
I mean, good for him. I mean, he'll be able to go back to work in the new year, I guess. But it's like, what?
He very, very thankful he got off on this one.
Jesus. Yeah, hey, buddy, never drink and drive again. Ever. You should have been screwed.
I hope Naomi gave him a good talk.
That is some Irishman. This is some Buffalino shit. This is Irishman territory. Netflix show, movie. I watched it the other day. Long, but it doesn't feel long.
Yeah, I've been meaning to watch it, but I haven't found the time to sit beside to watch it.
You need a solid 3 hours.
Yeah, unfortunately.
But it is worth it. It well acted, and you don't even feel the time sometimes.
Yeah. Some good news. Nia Jax and Ruby Riott are set to return next month.
They're clear. So that is awesome.
Yeah, because that women's division definitely needs some star power, and I think that Ruby Riott
they need some meat on them bones.
I think that Ruby Riott, if given the opportunity, could be a star.
What'd you think of the Mandy Rose gimmick that they got her going?
What gimmick?
You know, they had a vignette on Raw. It's on YouTube where she's like strips over and there she's narrating about she needs to destroy what I need before I need to transform or whatever.
You mean Liv Morgan?
Liv Morgan, thank you. You can tell I don't give a shit about Raw, folks.
Mandy Rose, for fuck's sake, she's on SmackDown!
You could damn me for that.
Oh, I'm gonna...
Just do it! Ow. Anyway.
So yeah,
Liv Morgan, what do you think of the Liv Morgan thing?
I'm interested slightly, but I'm hoping they don't screw it up. So just, I have no confidence in it, but I'm hoping for the.
Yeah.
Let's see what else we have here. Edge said that he will not be returning for the Royal Rumble. You know, there were some reports. I believe Mike Johnson, PW Insider, said that he would be returning.
Insider,
for
there are people saying, there are people saying he signed a 3-year deal to return to the ring. And other people, he's going to do the Rumble. And Edge is saying, no, I'm retired. What the fuck are you thinking?
As much as I would like to see him in the Rumble, I'd rather them focus on modern wrestlers because they need to build stars up. Yes.
You know, if he's just there for a surprise bit, like he's the surprise veteran, fine. But if we're going by the 10 from each brand gimmick that they're rumored to do, yeah, keep Edge out of it.
Yes, focus on your own roster because, like I said, they need stars yesterday.
Yeah, and they need those NXT guys to show up the main roster again.
And speaking of stars, a future star here, the new number one contender for the AEW Women's World Championship, Chris Statlander.
You have no idea how
favorite
happy
alien from the Andromeda Galaxy.
Yeah, the greatest alien of all time, brother. Chris Statlander. I'm so happy for Chris. I am. Bit of a shocker. Bit of a shocker. Let me get the shocker dollar bill here, the shake and all that stuff. But I'm surprised, but I'm like, you know what? They need to build stars for that division. Chris Statlander is a solid worker, as solid as hell. It can only get better with experience. I'm all for it.
Also, should note that on AEW Dark last week, that Vicky Guerrero and Joey Janela on commentary.
That was a thing, folks.
I can't believe I'm going to say this. Vicky Guerrero is a better commentator than Jim Ross.
You know the scary part, folks?
He's not wrong.
Because Vicky Guerrero actually brought up wins and losses from the past several weeks to try to put over the wrestlers, and I'm like, she's been studying the product. Holy shit!
She's been paying attention.
Like, she actually knows what she's talking about. She's like, oh my god, she actually knows stuff, and her thirst aside, because she was thirsty for Private Party. She was thirsty for him.
She was.
That aside, she was actually pretty damn good. And Joey Janela, line of the night. Orange Cassidy is the only man brave enough to journey through Canada with a bucket of maple syrup tied to his back.
I forgot about that line. Oh, God. Oh.
Also, Janela and Excalibur were dropping references to GCW and Beyond Wrestling just left, right, and center throughout the night.
They were more focused on them dropping reference bombs. But Joey Janela verbally flipping the bird to James E. Cornette doing that. Oh, beauty. Beauty. Thy name is Joey Janela.
And another bit of beauty was the main event that seems to have people divided. Either you really loved the ending or you really hated it. And because, you know, me and Matty are huge marks for this tag team, we loved it. The Dark Order taking out the Elite and SCU in one fell swoop.
Though, I must admit, taking my my bias out of the way, can't blame those who were negative about it. Because it's taken heat away from SCU.
It might, but at the same time, they've been building up Dark Order for past like month and a half. It feels like
month and a half.
And they had to do They had to do something big with them, and at the very least, they're strapping a rocket to them, and they're showing full confidence behind this team. This isn't no half measure, anything. They are 100%.
They're rectifying the mistake of putting him on TV too quick. And it's working because those boos, they might lose a few people in the viewership, but believe me, the minute either SCU or Young Bucks go after them on a pay-per-view, you're going, if I'm not buying for the main event, I'm buying for that tag team match. That's a good thing.
And like I said, I'm predicting that when they were doing this beatdown, Hangman was the only one who didn't show up because he's doing his own thing. He's got his own problems. And by the way, the lower thirds for Hangman have been amazing.
Yeah.
This week it was IDK. Make it say Happy Holidays. Spelled H, spelled like redneck.
Yeehaw! And he goes on his Instagram and Twitter and he goes, "Oh, for fuck's sake." I'm pretty sure he was internally saying when he saw that, "I was fucking kidding." That's a hell of a running gag if they keep going with that.
I like how I don't think the announcers even mentioned it, so it's just a nice thing just to have on screen.
It's a little thing. It's a little Easter egg. Is what it is.
Yep, just for the people, just to make sure you're paying attention.
I read that. I'm like, there's no fucking way. Yes way.
Hangman's off, and I have a feeling that the Elite and SCU, they're gonna start pointing fingers at Hangman, like, where were you? Why didn't you help us? And people may even suspect, are you thinking of joining them? And maybe they go down the road a bit, and later on, maybe at the February pay-per-view, AEW Revolution.
Mm-hmm.
They have a masked man in the ring. Everyone's thinking, oh, it's clearly Hangman. He pulls off the mask. Whoop, whoop.
I mean,
it's party Marty time.
It depends if there's a contract with the NWA. That could depends if it's a short thing, long thing. But if you're right, and it's in Chicago, that pop will be massive.
Oh, it's Chicago? Then clearly it's CM Punk! CM Punk to AEW confirmed!
And for those wondering, folks, his contract is with Fox. He can do damn well whatever he pleases.
I'm joking.
Yeah, of course. People don't get it. And hey, Reverend. Better late than never. Sorry I missed Jackson. Woo! I am for eels. Sorry, I'm very tired, he says. By the way, tier 1 sub, 19 months in a row. Thank you very much. EY.
Oh, I got that. I got that reference. Yeah. The 4 Eels. I like that comic.
Yeah.
Also, for some reason, my thank you message was a dreidel. I guess if it's
it does season. That. It does that. It's the holidays is what it is. You got a random emote.
So it fits. So it's all good.
Yeah.
Nevertheless, I'm interested in what's happening with AEW. Something that I'm more halfway, somewhat interested in is the Nightmare Collective. I'm kind of half in, half out with it at the moment.
It's one of those. I want to see where they're going before I put like an official. Oh, this is bad or this is boring. It's like, it's weird.
It is weird, and if nothing else, like it's definitely interesting because you don't really see cults with female wrestler angles very often.
Yeah.
And the fact they're putting this right front and center with their women's division is nothing else unique. So there's that.
Yeah. And then that's how I see it as well. I don't know what to feel. Yes, it's awkward. Yes, it's going to be strange. And yes, it's another, quote, Dark Order. And we have enough cults as it is. But no, this is... I want to see where they're going with it.
I know you've arrived. Yes, you did. We missed a lot this week. I highly recommend watching, the usual stuff. Impact, AEW, NWA Power.
NWA Power. I mean,
NXT.
skip the clip shows, obviously, but, the usual stuff. Skip Raw and SmackDown. You don't need it.
So, some good news for WWE 2K20. They released an update this week. Patch 1.06. It finally added the creative title feature to the game, putting it back in there.
And in true 2K20 faction, it's glitch as fuck.
Slightly. Just a little bit. I tried downloading some titles, and the ones that had custom images, for some reason the images didn't download on any of them, which sucks, because I wanted to use like the AEW title, maybe use the NWA title, you never know, just download a whole bunch of them. But unfortunately, the ones that use custom images were essentially just blank belts. So that's unfortunate.
Maybe it's a case you'll have to download the custom images yourself and then put them in there, maybe.
Yeah, but I'm too lazy for that.
Or you don't have enough time for that.
It's a combination of the two. But they also, today, released their Wasteland Wanderers DLC.
How is it?
It's cheesy as hell. You play as Seth Rollins, who is essentially a Mad Max type person.
Oh, wow. You get to play as Seth Rollins. Oh, wow.
Yeah, I know it's not exactly advertising, but yeah. Clearly, this is something that was thought up earlier in the year when he had more popularity.
Way more popularity. Before he tweeted the fuck out, before he tweeted the fuck out of it. I'm trying to think of a good verbiage here. Before he shouted out on Twitter.
Yeah, essentially. So this DLC has him
pissed at away Twitter. That's what I meant to say. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah. So it had this DLC. The story is him being this Mad Max type of character wandering into this town and having to fight in this gladiatorial arena for the Overlord, who ends up being Samoa Joe. And so you have to go through this gauntlet of wrestlers, essentially. And my favorite one is Batista, because he comes out to his old, 2003 theme song.
Oh, nice.
Another thing I love about it is the signature move they give Seth Rollins, where he takes both of his thumbs, jams into his opponent, the temples of his opponent's head. At first they no-sell it, and then they start freaking out, and they do a front flip selling it. And if you know what that's referencing, that is the greatest Easter egg in the history of wrestling video games. Omae wa moa fuck.
Omae wa shinderu.
Yeah, omae wa shinderu.
Fist of the North Star reference in WWE 2K20.
He used Hokuto Shinken.
I don't know whether to mark out or be sad.
I was marking. I was like, okay, whoever made this was clearly a giant fucking nerd, and I love it. And of course, just like with the past DLC, you get a new arena and a new championship belt. With this one, essentially having some radioactive symbols on it because post-nuclear wasteland. Also, gentleman Jack Gallagher is with a steampunk look because he's British.
Of course, of course.
But still, I love the Hokuto Shinken move. And I love the fact they put in Batista's old theme song.
Fits the motif.
Yeah, and I just love the look of the arena overall. It has it is this post-nuclear, very dusty arena where dust actually does occasionally come up from the ground. It's a nice little weather effect. And it does look like this old gladiator, Mad Max style gladiatorial arena. So, they at least know how to make good arenas in video games, at least. And that's
evil Reverend. Seth knows how Hokuto Shinken, but who will be the final boss who knows Nanto Seiken?
Yeah, they should have had someone do Nanto Seiken. That would have been nice. Had the Samoa Joe use that. But yeah, it's overall not a bad stuff, and it's bookended by, of course, cutscenes from the New Day and their usual goofy selves.
Of course.
And of course, they're leading into the end of it has them wanting to go old school for their feeling like they want to go old school, which is obviously leading into their next DLC, which is going to be Southpaw Regional Wrestling.
Nice. Aha.
Yeah, because it ends with them going, you know what? I want popcorn and watch some old promos, and so they just walk off camera. And it's like, gee, I wonder what that could be referencing.
Oh my god.
And we already know that's coming.
I hope it comes out, because even if I don't get the game, I like to look forward to watching the cutscenes.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how
those are going to be fucking glorious.
Although, when it comes to cutscenes in it, the only actual like cutscenes you see are just mocap stuff that happens during the match. The stuff that happens in between are just going back and forth between the character portraits, essentially, and text. It's not voiced, but it is at least written well. At least, it feels like it's what these wrestlers would say.
If it's just text boxes for Southpaw, I'm gonna be so goddamn disappointed.
It's at least gonna be bookended by the New Day. And for the actual matches, you'll probably hear commentary from quote-unquote Lance Catamaran and Chet Chatterfield.
That would be awesome.
Like John Cena, he's not wrestling. In fact, interestingly enough, I don't think he wrestled once this entire calendar year.
Who?
Cena.
He has not, actually. All he had was his cameo in WrestleMania this year. That's it.
Yeah, I think this might be the first calendar year since 2003. No, 2002.
2002, because he had debuted in 2003.
No, he debuted in... Oh, did he debut? No, he debuted in 02.
No, 03.
The whole... No, 02,
Ruthless Aggression, true, but...
Yeah. Ruthless Aggression.
Long fucking time.
So yeah, it's been almost 2 decades since we've went a whole calendar year without Cena, and wow, it just feels weird, really.
I need to Google it. We need to Google this real quick, because I need to make sure. John Cena.
John Cena.
Debut. See. Oh, it's actually his WWE debut, television debut was June 27, 2002. So you are indeed correct. But yeah, 2002.
2002 to 2018, he was on television at least once for every calendar year from then on. So 16 years. Holy shit. That's a long time. Think about all the wrestlers that have come and gone within the past 16 years.
Yeah.
Before my head starts spinning anymore, should we go to winners and losers?
I think we shall. Before we do, we were talking about my diet before we started anything else. I'll tell you one thing. The first morning, like the hotel we're staying at, the Holiday Inn, they have like a breakfast buffet. This is me.
Give me all the bacon and eggs you have. Wait. I worry what you just heard was, give me a lot of bacon and eggs. What I said was, give me all the bacon and eggs you have.
That's going to be me. January 5. Like before, when we get our badges and everything else, I'm going to get there. There's going to be a buffet. It'll be bacon, eggs, sausages, toast. It'll be me happy in my head place is what it's going to be like. Yeah, people think I'm going to be kidding. I'm not kidding. I've told the guys that, too. This is going to be me. On holidays, I'm still watching myself slightly. GDQ? The only thing that will be limiting me will be my budget. That's it.
Well, knowing the price of con food.
Well, you know what? The thing is, like, we're this is familiar territory for us. For those who don't know, we're staying at the host hotel for AGDQ is right next to the hotel we used to stay at for Ranger Stop, the Holiday Inn on South Kirkman Road. So this is familiar territory, and we know enough, and we are a short walk away from Super Saiyan, which we will be making a visit or two during our time there. That is almost a damn near guarantee. But enough about that. You said winners and losers. T-Dub, let's do some losers.
Loser this week, TLC. Just TLC.
I'm giving WWE the loss this week. Just, fuck's sake, what the fuck was that pay-per-view? But I'm just going to say, if I only have one loser, I do have one lol cow of the week. Oh, folks. Enzo Amore's at it again. You know what he did? He did a, quote, diss track pointed, or a diss video, pointed at Tama Tonga. He basically did a Enzo was Nick Cannon to Tama's Eminem, if you follow any of that social media shit. And obviously I do. But instead, you know, where Eminem just decided to ignore, do what Mildred always likes to say, never interrupt your opponent, your enemy. It just, don't never interrupt your enemy while making a mistake. Tama, well, he decided to be Tama. Roasting the ever-loving shit out of Enzo. And Enzo, I'll still fight you. I still fight you. There's this one move trying to beat up Dustin Rhodes on AEW, and the punches are missing wide. He's punching the man in the face. It's sad as hell. Tama puts a video of that on his Instagram, and he said, Jesus, AEW, you need to fire Enzo now. See, Enzo? This is what happens when you go after a guy who does not give a fuck like Tama. Plus, he's Tongan. He might... He's literally the kid of Haku. Are you actually looking to die? Like, literally looking to die? Because that's how you die.
Yeah, I like to read the tweet verbatim. Is that Enzo in the mask? That's got me a fiery one right now at AEW Wrestling.
Just... Enzo...
He followed that up. He followed up with saying, he out there airbending and shit.
And that's just one post. He's been doing it ever since Enzo decided to open his big fucking mouth again. I'm like, he does not figure in any of my lists. This is literally, I saw this, and I'm like, you just don't know. You just don't know when to shut the fuck up, do you? Like, you have no filter. You just try to, I still exist. And Tama Tonga goes, no one cares. You fucking moron. Oh, yeah. Enzo Amore. He ain't a loser. He's a goddamn lolcow. Let's do some winners. End this on a more positive note.
Say the world of wrestling as a whole. It's just a great time to be a wrestling fan outside WWE and just enjoy the good times while they last.
Yes, enjoy it while the main roster tries to pick their jaws up again. I got a whole list of people. Marty Scurll for being contrarian, which is not a bad thing. Stu Bennett for the excellent job he's doing with the National Wrestling Alliance. I think he did a good job at the pay-per-view, and obviously he's doing a great job at during NWA Power. A lot of people are talking about Jim Cornette was the identity, the old school identity to this case. The presentation's still there. It's still a very different vibe.
if you want old school people, they got them too. You know, they got the Rock and Roll Express.
And Stu Bennett reminds me, in a sense, reminds me of Lord Alfred Hayes, except, you know, Stu Bennett could actually talk on the microphone. Lord Al was never truly comfortable on the microphone. At least as an announcer. I don't know about his promos, but as an announcer, he's an acquired taste.
To say the least.
Yeah. Stu Bennett has confidence, and he knows what's going on in there. He presents a gravitas to it, which, again, reminds me of Lord Al Hayes, which is an old school reference, so that is a good thing. Jungle Boy with Chris Jericho, actually NWA for the great pay-per-view, and they have fixed their shit, and that is a good thing. That is a very good thing. Jungle Boy, 10 minutes. Chris Jericho tried to no-sell it, but it's still a big quote-unquote win for Jungle Boy. He lasted the 10 minutes. Simple but effective story. Can't deny that. Rhea Ripley, congratulations. Shayna Baszler, congratulations on your long reign. You may now rest. Chris Statlander, congratulations on becoming #1 contender. See you in January 1. PCO, I don't know if we brought this up last week, and we know we brought up the results, but I did not put him in the winners list. So that's new world ROH World Champion. Congratulations.
Okay, breaking news.
Oh, what is it?
The Young Bucks disabled their Twitter account.
Wait, what?
Yeah, at Matt Jackson 13, there's no tweets.
Whoa. All right, let me finish this up, and then we can talk about this. PCO and James Storm for that excellent promo on NWA Power as well. Let me double check. Matt Jackson, right?
Yep, at Matt Jackson 13.
Because that is weird. Matt Jackson. No, Matt Jackson 13. Oh, wow. There's not a tweet. You are not kidding. Nothing there. What about Nick Jackson? I gotta check Nick Jackson here.
Nick Jackson full up deleted his Twitter.
Cannot retrieve tweets. Yeah, I see on my phone I have the page, but nothing. No tweets. Cannot retrieve tweets. He has deleted his Twitter.
Yeah, at Nick Jackson YB, this account doesn't exist. This is holy shit. What the fuck is going on?
This is strange because these guys made their living on social media, quite literally. That is weird.
Well, hope this gets resolved soon, because this is a bit nervous.
This is to be continued. Yeah, this is certainly to be continued. Because that is strange. Anyway. Do you have any other videos coming up this year, or you're done for the year?
I got my VG Comms channel as usual, updating every week.
So you get to check that out. And of course, if you want T-Dub's next video from his main channel, you could get it early. You could go to patreon.com/TWK reviews to support his efforts. And of course, I am also on PayPal. I've got my tip jar, paypal.me/MattyJ316. Donations are optional, but always appreciated, especially in these holiday times. You can follow us on Twitter at MattyJ316, at TWK Official. I'm on Instagram at MattyJ316. And emails, thewrestlecast@gmail.com. We have merch. Streamlabs.com/RVTEntertainment/merch. All that good stuff. Buy the merch and shirts and all that good stuff. And, as always, once again, one more reminder, the best and worst of 2019 next week. Do not send emails. We're probably not going to read them because we probably won't have time. But we do want you to show up We want you to show up so much. One more time for 2019. But until then, that's going to do it, ladies and gentlemen. We thank you very much for tuning in. As per usual, on behalf of my good buddy TWK.
Until next time, this is TWK Reviews, telling you to work your gimmick.
My name is Matty Jay, reminding you to help professional wrestling. Support your independent promotion as soon as possible. And, yeah. One more thing. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Hanukkah, and a Festivus for the rest of us. Merry Christmas. Enjoy your holiday. Truly. Have a good one. We'll talk to you on next Friday on the last show we produced in 2019. At least this Wrestle Cast show, anyway. Have a good one. Have a safe one. Have a safe one. Truly, if you're, especially during the winter, do not drink and drive, and do not drive too much in the slippery snow. Seriously. Have a good one. Smoothie, and I'll talk to you later. Bye, everybody. Bye!
Well, now that the whole family's here, let's get down to business, shall we?
You're gonna get coal in your stocking, cause you're yuppie scum. Just means more gifts for me. Keep pissing Santa off!